To start with the mini cabinet reshuffle, and in a moment you'll see the probable reason behind the latest cabinet musical chairs. Now, feeling the heat of raging public anger over the rising cost, this was probably one of those main reasons. So right next to me, you'll see the first change, and this was affecting Ambassador Monica Juma, who has been moved from the Defense Ministry and goes to the Critical Energy Ministry that has its fair share of issues facing it in the last few days. And next that was affected is Charles Keter, who was in charge at the Energy Ministry, but a lot of questions about the management there, and he's now been moved to the Ministry of Devolution. And the other critical person and ministry that has some changes is that with under CS Eugene Wamalwa. Now, he has been moved and critically now will be facing the defense and standing on guard at the Defense Ministry from the Ministry of Devolution. So there are probable reasons behind that, and that's now what we're getting to with Olive Burrows. Did the president feel the heat from the issues around the drought situation that is facing the country? And could the task force report that has just come out, that was actually put in place by the president to bring about changes in the energy sector, inform the decision today to move Charles Keter from his docket? Olive Burrows has the details.
After close to 6 years at the helm of the Ministry of Energy, Charles Keter was on Wednesday moved from the Ministry of Energy to that of Devolution. Keter's replacement with Monica Juma, who was moved from the Ministry of Defense, follows a public outcry over the rising cost of electricity. And in fact, Keter had expected to appear before parliamentarians on the day he was transferred to provide an explanation.
I'm not in charge. I mean, it's very clear, isn't it? I'm in charge of energy. I'm not in charge of petroleum. So why do you ask me such? Isn't it? I'm not. The letter I have before the Senate is dating Thursday this week, of which I have requested to appear 29.
Keter was moved from the Ministry of Energy together with long-serving PS Joseph Njoroge, who had been at the ministry ever since President Kenyatta took office in 2013, having previously served as Managing Director of Kenya Power since 2007, that is, before being promoted to PS. The changes at the helm of the ministry come only a couple of hours after President Uhuru Kenyatta announced that he would be implementing the recommendations of a task force he gazetted on the 29th of March to review power purchase agreements. The task force found disparities between KenGen and independent power producer tariffs, as well as other management weaknesses for which the consumer paid the ultimate price. Less than 2 weeks ago, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance voiced its distress over the cost of power going up by over 70% in the time President Uhuru Kenyatta has been in office, and made an urgent appeal for the mismanagement and poor governance at the root of the problem to be addressed. Other changes made to President Kenyatta's cabinet is the transfer of Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa to the Ministry of Defense, and the transfer of the State Department for Arid and Semi-Arid Lands to the Ministry of Public Service and Gender, of which Margaret Kobia is in charge. A move welcomed by leaders of the 14 counties that make up the arid and semi-arid lands, according to a statement released by Jubilee Coalition's Parliamentary Group Secretary Aidan Kainan. The changes coming at a time when the government's response to the drought disaster has been viewed as less than satisfactory. Kobia has also been given the added responsibility for social protection, pensions and senior citizens, of which the Ministry of Labour under CS Simon Chelugui has been stripped. Other changes to the state departments is the transfer of Gordon Kihalangwa from Public Works to Energy, where he replaces Joseph Njoroge, who's been moved to the Ministry of Transport. Solomon Kitungu makes way for Njoroge and makes his way to Public Works. Olive Burrows, NTV.